And I'm going to make the assumption that maybe part of the logic behind the earlier start is to allow East Central out of Decatur, Mississippi to get back home in a halfway decent hour. Or it could have nothing at all to do with the drive to Decatur. But here we go. A couple of teams that have already met this year. They met in Mississippi. And it was East Central coming away with a 98-50 win in that one. Quickly, let's take a look at who will be on the floor. And there you have the starting five for East Central. A lot of scoring from Hunter, Prince, Freeney, Stanek, and Farmer. Meanwhile, on the other side of the floor, a lot of rebounding. Number one rebounding team in the ACCC. Slaughter and Thomas leading the rebounding charge. Murph, Goodman, and Hall part of that starting lineup as well. And first blood on this one drawn by East Central. Out front, it will go to Murph. And is Hall with it, drives down low, lost it in the paint. Meanwhile, thrown out of bounds. Did it get a Coyote on the way out? It did not. Shea Hunter, the freshman, tossing it out of bounds and will belong to the Coyotes in a one-zip game. Last time these two teams met, between them 148 points on the board. 98 for the home team on that particular day. Off the rim, no good for Slaughter. Rebounded by Hunter. Works into this end of the floor. And there is a whistle, there is a foul. And Morgan Freeney will head to the stripe. Morgan Freeney, another one of the freshmen. For Betsy Harris, head coach at East Central. Freeney, 9 points a game. Drops in both to make it a 3-zip East Central lead. Over goes to Slaughter. Hall will whip it over to Thomas into the paint. Banks it, won't drop. Rebounded by Hunter. And there's the foul as Hunter brings it to the other end of the floor. And thus far, every point has been made at the stripe. And Hunter, the 69% free throw shooter, back there again for the Warriors. Well, obviously, over the course of many years of doing basketball, and you've seen these early leads, 4 or 5 points. I'm just not sure I have seen a 5-point lead, as in 5-0 to start the game, with everything coming from the stripe. But thus far, that's all that's dropped in. We don't have a field goal yet. Hall handing it to Murph. Sends it over to Hall, banks it off the glass, committed the offensive. Ran over Kyla Hall, make that Kyla Farmer. And Hall picking up the foul. That'll be her first. 3 trips this week to Monroeville. This is the first of the 3. We are back here on Wednesday, back here on Saturday. Over to Farmer. Stanek to the stripe. Too strong. Swatted out. Stanek able to grab the rebound into the corner. That is the 3-pointer en route. But no good from Prince. And it'll be Coyote basketball. Murph trying to feed it over to Thomas. It is taken away by Stanek. Down low, off the glass, too strong for Prince. And Farmer with a walk, trying to decide where to go with it. Coyotes with another opportunity to get the first field goal of the game. Murph coming out. Checking into the lineup is Tiana Watts. Well, Goodman falls down, and that should be your first from the floor, and it is. Picked up by Lexus Keeves. Drive to the other end of the floor. Goodman with the scoop and score. One loss this season for East Central. It's got a foul from the backside by Hall, and that is going to be 2 quick ones on Raven Hall. And that's got Mandy Armstrong up looking for somebody to get into the game for Hall. And that somebody is going to be Trinity Crane. Meanwhile, Nikki Stanek shooting. As a team, this is a 67% free throw shooting team. And thus far, all of the trips to the stripe have been by Warriors. Goodman working it front side. Over to Thomas. Crane gives to Goodman, feeds back to Crane. She'll get shoved. And Crane will shoot. Trinity Crane averaging a couple of points a night. A 36% free throw shooter. I mentioned these two teams have already met this year. Met on the 18th of November in Mississippi. It was a 98-50 win that day for East Central. And the big quarter was the second one, when East Central outscored the Coyotes 30-9. Malayla McMillan in, and it is McMillan that will shoot and make the three. In play to Murph. Watts working into the other end of the floor, trying to get into Crane, and Crane couldn't hang on to the lead pass. Back it goes to Keys. An 11-3 ball game. Only one blemish on the season record for East Central. As you got a walk by Hunter. And it was administered by an ACCC team, Lawson State. They knocked off this Warrior squad 59-52. Murph stumbles, able to get rid of it to Watts. And that is lost out of bounds. Tipped that way by Stanek. Tipped out of bounds by Hunter. I mentioned we're back here on Wednesday and Saturday. Wednesday, the ladies playing Talladega's JV. Saturday, they'll take on Albany Tech. Meanwhile, the guys play on Saturday too. They've got Bishop State. Off the rim for Watts, rebounded by Thomas, and you got a jump ball. I mentioned the Coyotes are the #1 rebounding team in the ACCC. Thomas and Slaughter a big part of the reason. They are 4-5 in the conference in rebounding. McMillan with another three. This one caught the side of the backboard. Hand it over to Stanek, picks it up at the elbow, goes over to Hunter. Now the corner comes Keys. It is wrapped up by Thomas. Murph puts it up from the stripe just a little bit strong. Stanek with a rebound. Down low Stanek. And she will drop it in over Slaughter. And the Warriors building a double-digit lead, 4.5 in. Off the glass for Slaughter, rebounded by Stanek. Trying to slide it over to Keys and reaching in to take it away Watts. And did we get a timeout? I think we must have. Thought I heard one of the officials say media timeout, but typically those aren't things we've observed in the ACCC, but hey, if it is, we'll take it.
About to start my day, but first, coffee. Here with my coastal crew. Woo! And that's how I end my day at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Four minutes, 19 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. And the lead belonging to the visitors out of Mississippi. East Central has put together some pretty good athletics already this year. Their football team, though, finishing, I think, just below the 500 mark. Very competitive football program. And obviously with the 10-1 mark, this Lady Warriors squad not too shabby either. Get a bump there on the baseline. Stanek charged with a foul. And Crane will put it in play from the baseline. Fires it to Watts. Watts off the glass. Putting up the long two-pointer, no good for McMillan. Thomas with the rebound, kicks it over to Murph. Fires down low, Crane for two more. And the Coyotes have gotten to within 4, prompting a timeout requested by the Warriors of East Central.
What's up, y'all? Here at Coastal Alabama. I'm about to go and get this leg day started. Let's get it. We're here again after it today. Hey, let's go, baby. Let's ride. Yes, sir.
Well, all of a sudden the Coyotes draw to within 4. And that got the attention of head coach Betsy Harris and the Warriors of East Central. And there is an offensive on the screen. And I believe that's Stanek, which will be 2 on Stanek. She'll come out of the game, and you got a couple of players, one Warrior and one Coyote with 2. Standing with 2 for East Central. And Hall with 2 for the Coyotes. A chance to make it a 1-possession ball game. Murph fires out front. Watts was open for the 3, opted not to take it. Back over to Murph. Crane driving from just outside of the paint, wanted it high off the window. And Slaughter trying to sling it back onto the floor. It was about head high, but Farmer able to block it. Thinking what might have been had she not gotten the hands up. And Farmer charged with a foul. Made the turn to head to the hoop and knocked down Thomas. Freeney back into the ball game for East Central as it is put in play to Murph over to Crane. Murph with it out front. Thomas, the perimeter 2, just a little bit short. Able to track it down once, and she'll fall down. Compliments of Freeney. So Watts will head to the strike. Watts a 59% free throw shooter on a 54% free throw shooting team. Clementina Onum into the ball game for East Central. As the first shot will miss for Watts. Only one game today. Guys were supposed to be playing, but not here. They were supposed to be playing at Coastal South today. But as you may know by now, games at South postponed or canceled until January as they work on getting the renovations to the gymnasium complete. So at this moment, I think it is that first week of January when we will first get a first look at the renovations to the gym at South. That is Odom with a bucket. Taking advantage of that height. Able to lay it in for 2. Murph over to Watts. Slaughter turns around and looks down low. Out front it goes to Murph. Pulls up, shoots short. Rebounded by Prince. And there's a bump on the way down from Watts. Here comes Goodman back into the game. Watts will go out. Miriam Prince at the line. Averages a little better than 13, almost 14 per game. 69% free throw shooter. She'll get 1 of 2 while Tajay Young checks in. Also, Janeria Lennox in. Murph and Crane coming out for the Coyotes. Young puts it in play from the baseline. Gets it to Lennox. And there is a reach by Prince. And we'll go to the other end of the floor and shoot free throws. The league currently 6. It's been as much as 10. Lennox averaging 3 points a game, a 38% free throw shooter. Scored 5 the last time these two teams met. Over and goes to Freeney. Works it to the top of the key. That is Prince to Freeney. Pulls the trigger on a three, a little bit short. It is rebounded by Slaughter. Fed down to Thomas. Turnaround, Jay. Hunter drives from just outside of the paint, coming up short. Thomas with the board, gives it over to Goodman. And Goodman will trip up right about midcourt. That's about 3 times we've seen that today. If you're playing football, they call it the turf monster. I guess this would be the, I don't know what it would be, the gym monster reaching up and pulling down Goodman. Over to Prince. Freeney weaving through the paint. Hunter in the corner, and down low it goes to Farmer. And she'll get 2 to extend the lead to 6. Lennox with a 3, no good. Farmer thrust it to the opposite end of the floor. It comes up short, and we have played 1. And after 1, the lead is 6. It belongs to the Warriors.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. Discover welding at Coastal Alabama Community College. So what are you waiting for?
Well, I'm thinking that's probably the bus driver for East Central. Checking out the basketball. And after this one, we'll hop on the bus and take them, what? I guess northeast. Okay, northwest. My apologies. Getting my directions discombobulated. Be towards the west. Kind of northeast Mississippi, but northwest of here. Okay, did I cover well enough? Coyotes open up the scoring to begin quarter number 2. Farmer to Odom, and Odom again. That height, kind of like speed in a football game or a football team. It's hard to overcome. And Odom, 2 tries, 2 makes. Goodman with the offensive, ran over Farmer. Here comes Keys into the game. Slaughter will get a breather. Watts checking back in. And Goodman will go out for the Coyotes. Prince with it out front. Young defending. Into the corner to Freeney. Farmer dumping it to Odom. And a whistle prior to the shot. Doesn't look like a foul, just some form of a violation. Apparently a walk. Did not see the official indicate what got the ball back into the hands of the Coyotes, but it's there. Shot up, shot good for Lennox. Prince missing on a three, rebounded by Thomas. Lennox into the corner to Young. Back it goes to Lennox. Fires to Thomas. Thomas trying to wheel it over the rim and couldn't. Well, Watts got knocked down. No whistle. Freeney eventually into the corner to Prince. She'll fire from there and knock down the three ball. And is stolen away by Keys, but knocked out of bounds. Coyotes trying to improve to 7-8 on the year. Warriors hoping to pick up their 11th victory in the season. Against ACCC teams, East Central is 5-1. Against Mississippi teams, Coyotes are 0-2. But 2-4 against Region 23 teams. And of course, Mississippi comes out of Region 23, which also includes Louisiana schools. Farmer with a turnaround, drops it right in the middle of the cylinder. In play to Keys, over it goes to Watts. Murph leaning in. Keys and Thomas fighting for the rebound, and now you got Murph and McMillan battling. And it is a jump ball, and the possession arrow will point to the East Central end of the floor. Halftime, we're talking with ACCC Commissioner Dean Myron. Conversation recorded on the 15th of November, but a lot of pertinent information. As you got a walk by Odom. Put in play to Murph. And speaking of the commissioner, I guess we can let the cat out of the bag. I think it's out now. Alabama Public TV, the most watched television network in Alabama, is going to have a game of the week, an ACCC game of the week, starting January 13th. Freeney back over to Farmer. Swatted away by Keys. So all the details should be coming out shortly. And we are definitely looking forward to being a part of that production. Maddie Buckley coming into the ball game. Farmer will go out for East Central. Stolen away on the inbounds. Thomas just reached, swatted away with the inbound pass. Murph for two. Freeney falls down, apparently knocked down by Crane. Put in play from the far sidelines by Keys. And that's out of bounds off Buckley. And a 4-point ball game. 5:52 to play in the half. Keys giving it over to Murph. Fakes the handoff to Crane, gives it to Watts. Watts trying to get by Keys, and Keys in an effort to recover because Watts had gotten a step on Keys. Keys reaching back and committing the foul. So Watts back at the stripe, averaging 5 points a game. A 59% free throw shooter. Trying to turn it again into a one-possession game. Short but rebounded by Keys. Got the bucket, drew the foul, has a chance for three. So Key to the stripe. And a chance to make it a 1-point game. This is a far cry different from that 18th of November in Mississippi. On that day at halftime, it was a 52-21 ball game. I know we're not at the half, we're 5 minutes away, and anything can happen in 5 minutes. But I'm thinking we're not going to have a 52-21 score. Not going to have a 31-point lead at the half. McMillan putting it in play from the baseline over to Farmer. And Farmer will lean in for two. Over it goes to Murph. Works it down low. Too strong, McMillan with it. Freeney back over to McMillan. Farmer from out front. Off the rim, rebounded by Key. Crane. Over it goes to Watts. Shoots the three. She's got it. It's a 1-point game. Over to Farmer. Directing traffic is Keys. McMillan. Down low to Odom. Freeney fires to Farmer. Shifts from one side of the rim to the other and drops it in for two. Out of the corner comes Crane. Freeney trying to reach in and take it away. Does. Into the corner it goes to Keys. And Key will swat it away from Keys. But off of Keys, so Key and company will have it. And you got a timeout on the floor at the 3:15 mark. 29-26 game, East Central.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Is there anywhere you can go without finding a Yankee fan? Still a few months away from the start of baseball season, but anytime the right time to don some Yankees gear, right? If you're a Yankee fan. If you're a Braves fan or a Red Sox fan especially, where the Yankees are concerned, you don't share that sentiment. 3 minutes to play in the half. Nearly stolen away by Hunter. In play to Murph. Off the rim, Key has it. Couldn't get in the bank. Odom with the board. Shot down to Odom again, trying to use that height to her advantage. That's her first miss. Slaughter with it. Goodman. Couldn't get that one to drop over to Watts. Tries the reverse, won't fall. Key with it. And eventually Odom coming up with a board. Fed back over to Key. Topside give to Farmer. Prince back into the game. Odom to Farmer. Hunter puts it on the floor, pulls up inside of the stripe, and she will hit for two. Goodman into the corner. Murph out of that corner. And she will walk in the paint. Five-point lead for East Central. Farmer with it out front. Gives to Odom. From the corner, dropped in by Prince. And the Warriors trying to rebuild what was once a 10-point lead. Goodman. Farmer got a piece of it, rebounded by Hunter. Over to Odom, and Slaughter says, I'll take that. Got a jump ball. And the possession arrow will send us to the other end of the floor. Thomas in. And Key coming out after some quality minutes for the Coyotes. Put in play to Murph. Back over to Murph from Goodman. Jumper near the elbow, a little bit strong. Over it goes to Prince, pushing it down the floor. Good team speed, though, from the Coyotes. It's hard to beat them in a foot race. And able to get back defensively. And there is an injured Coyote on the other end of the floor. And that is the reason for the stoppage in play. Thomas in some pain. Hopefully it's just like a hip pointer. She's holding the hip area. And I say, hopefully it's a hip pointer as if I'm versed on all the medical ramifications of hip pointer, but I'm thinking that's painful, but you overcome it quickly. Let's hope it's something like that. Don't want to see anybody go out. The number 4 rebounder in the conference, number 1 on your team, you definitely do not want to be without. 40 seconds to play in the half. Goodman will put it in play. It will go to Watts. Picks up the dribble and goes to the other side of the floor to Goodman. Shoots from just outside of the lane, and it's a 6-point game. East Central wants the last shot of the half. Runner lost it, able to get it back. Lost it again, this time won't get it back. Goodman to the other end of the floor, lays it up, lays it in. Coyotes within 4. And that will do it for the first half of basketball. Wow, you consider that when they first met 1 month ago, it was 52-21 at the half. Here less than a month later, 34-30. East Central and your Coyotes. A conversation with ACCC Commissioner Dean Myrick. It's now 60 seconds away.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, it's a conversation with Dean Myrick, the commissioner of the ACCC. Commissioner, how are you?
I'm good, Robert. How are you?
I am doing good. Boy, this is a change year for the ACCC. I mean, a lot of changes going on. You've added programs. You've got multiple divisions. So has it been different for you as a commissioner going into 23-24 as compared to any of the other prior years based on these changes?
It really hasn't. As I think you and I discussed earlier, if you did not know ahead of time that we had Division I and II, you would never know it. The only really way you would know it is if you looked, say, on our website and saw a Division I set of standings, a Division II set of standings, and maybe once we get to postseason. But it's been smooth. It's going to be positive. And I think the biggest positive for us is being shown right now with Wallace State at the National Volleyball Tournament. They're going to sweep their first round match at that national tournament. And no disrespect to them at all. We were just at a disadvantage at the Division I level, whether it was internationals, Roman board, so on and so forth. So, that my mindset early on when we were discussing this is regular season and postseason, you're not going to tell a difference until you get to the national tournament. And that's playing out as we know it, right now with volleyball. We saw a little bit of it with cross country the last couple of years at Division II, being able to, finish a top 5, in the country versus, maybe a top 30 at the Division I level. So that's playing out very, very well right now. And, we're starting to get in the thick of basketball, and, we'll see a little bit of difference there. And, it'll get a little bit busy. We'll have 2 separate tournaments, a Division II or Division I, but really, other than that's it. We'll have 2 teams being able to go to postseason, which will give more student athletes and schools and coaches and community the opportunity to experience a national tournament, which is always a good thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but technically all junior colleges in Alabama could be D2 based on the fact that none provide housing for their athletes, which is what makes you D1 status. Is that correct?
That is correct. In the past, our schools did not have an option of declaring Division II, but we were able to have great discussion with our presidents, outline the positives. To be honest, there really weren't any negatives. Our scholarship structure did not change one bit. So our schools were able to transition very, very easily. Our biggest thing that we had to discuss was how are we going to schedule? Is it going to be a state schedule? Are we still staying north-south? So on and so forth. So, once we figured all that out, I mean, we're ready to go, and it's going to be a smooth transition for us all.
And I'm assuming it was to the discretion of the schools as to whether they would be D1 or D2?
It's completely up to them. And it's not a division by college. So you may have, we have like all cross country is D2. All of volleyball went D2 by a sport. But, we had a mixture of baseball, softball, and the basketballs. We did not have this happen yet. We initially did, but a school changed their direction on this. But you could even have men's basketball at 1, women at 2, or vice versa. So, it's completely up to their discretion. I kept the schools informed of who was doing what, how many teams we were looking at having, and ultimately it ended up about a 50-50 split of D1 and D2, which is a good mix.
Did you need a certain number of teams participating in each division to make, let's say, the postseason tournaments happen?
Yes and no. We talked about, what we didn't want is to have, and I'm just making up numbers, 15 men's basketball teams at D1 and 3 at D2. I mean, that's kind of going to defeat the purpose of what we were trying to do. But and there were preliminary discussions with our ADs and coaches. It kind of had a good idea of who was going to do what. So no, there was no minimum. Now we will see possibly in women's golf. That's what we are going to have. They created a Division II level in women's golf. So really all of our schools except for one went Division II, one state Division I. And, really that Division I school will still compete with us during the regular season. It just depends on where they may go for postseason. But so yes and no, we never really ran into that situation, Robert, to where we had, very little schools. Now, women's basketball, we started off that way because we don't have as many women's teams as men's. But that ended up working itself out.
What about where the postseason tournaments are concerned? I think the last time we spoke, I believe every sport had been decided where they would play their postseason tournament, but was that problematic? And will they always be like on consecutive weeks, or could they be playing simultaneously?
It depends on if our region or conference is a district. In the past, we've been together, so our region was the same as a district. Division I men's and women's basketball stayed the same. So that will be a region or conference /region/district tournament. Division II, they are districted with Florida. So we will have to play a week earlier for our conference tournament, with that winner playing the Florida winner during the time of our Division I tournament. Baseball, it's the same thing. Baseball D2 will be a week earlier, still in Oxford, but a week earlier, and then our winner will play the Florida winner. In softball, we combined the region and district. So Florida will send their top 3 teams. We'll have 5, and we will combine region slash district into one tournament. So we'll be crowning our conference tournament champion as well as the district champion. And then they could be different, kind of like we've had in volleyball, as you know.
What determines whether the district and region is included in one event or separated?
That's an NJCAA decision. And I try to get a little bit of information. And, being in this 26 years now, I have a really good idea of what we may be looking at. I knew all along that baseball and softball and basketball would probably go with Florida just from a numbers, which is fine. That worked out well, and Florida and myself are really good relationships and able to work that out pretty easily. So yeah, that's an NJCAA decision. But I try to let our schools know, hey, if you go here, this is kind of what we're going to be looking at. And, if you go D1, this is what we may be looking at. So most of Division II, now volleyball, we were in with Mississippi. Division II, men and women's basketball with Florida. Same with D2, baseball and softball with Florida. Division I baseball, we are in with Region 23, which will be Louisiana. So they will send their top 2 teams to join our top 6 for an 18 combination region slash district tournament. Softball was fortunate enough to still keep their automatic, so that'll just be one tournament. Winner goes to the national tournament. Golf and tennis, they stayed exactly the same, so no changes in that.
Where these district tournaments are concerned that involve other states, is the host determined on a rotating basis, or how will that work year in and year out?
Yes. With Florida, I get with the Florida commissioner, and we talk about, if the numbers are comparable, that's easy, because we're looking at 4 years. So they'll host twice, we'll host twice. Now, as an example, D1 baseball, we've got 3 times as many teams as Louisiana. So over the 4-year period, we will host 3 of those 4 years to make it proportionate to what we have. So it's basically a negotiating deal with those individuals from those regions. But like I said, those went pretty smooth, and everything worked out for the very best for both, I think.
We are putting this interview on YouTube, but it also airs at halftime of basketball games, which is only 15 minutes. So I've got about 60 seconds, but I definitely want to ask about the addition of teams, especially in basketball, because interestingly, Reed State, from probably one of the smaller communities in Alabama that has a junior college, has had an exciting start to the basketball program. So you've got to be pleased.
It was I was fortunate enough to go to their first game in Evergreen. Get a little Conecuh dog pregame meal there at the gift shop there. So that's always good. But it was a standing room only crowd, great crowd, involved crowd. It was a great game between Reed and Coastal South and Bay Minette. It was just a really good way to kick off the 23-24 season. And, like I said earlier, if that game is any indication of what our season's going to look like, it's going to be a really good year for us. So, we have a lot of teams that have gotten off to a good start, and we'll go down to Coastal North tonight and see them and Indian Hills play. And for us to get a caliber team like an Indian Hills to come to Alabama, that says a lot too. So we'll be there, cheering on Coach Taylor and Coastal North here tonight. And the women at Pearl River too.
That's right. Got Pearl River ranked, I think it is 13 taking on Coastal North, and Indian Hills ranked 7 taking on Coastal North tonight. Dean Mymer, Commissioner of the ACCC, I feel certain we will talk again. Thanks so much for the conversation.
Sounds good, Robert. Thank you.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Second half action underway. They trimmed a few seconds off the clock, so we missed the inbounds, but nothing more. Great to have you back, whether you're watching on YouTube or online at JockJive.com. Thank you very much for tuning us in. Farmer with a miss, got it back, lost it. Eventually winds up in the hands of Freeney. Tipped away by Goodman. And then you've got a foul committed by Freeney. So the Coyotes with a basketball in a 34-30 contest. Goodman going to the other side of the floor to Murph. Works it down low off the glass. It's a 2-point game. One minute into the second half. And the Coyotes giving the 10-1 Warriors all they can handle on a Monday here in Monroeville. Hunter working her way to the right side. She'll put up an off-balance shot. Goodman's got it. And a chance for the Coyotes to grab the lead or tie it up. Over it goes to Murph. Back out front, Slaughter. Goodman thought about the 3. Takes the higher percentage shot, and we are tied up at 34 each. Out front it goes to Prince, and there is an offensive. Well, I thought he indicated 15. I don't see a 15. And it is now charged Prince. Well, obviously, there's a few disgruntled fans in the stands. There's one disgruntled coach on the sideline, and then there's another coach that's very pleased with the fact that we've got a tie game and an opportunity for the Coyotes, her squad, to take the lead. Hall will walk with it. Hall had to sit out the better half of the first half, or the better part of the first half, after picking up her second foul early. Freeney to Prince. Back over it goes to Freeney. Stanek into the corner. And that is out of bounds off Keys. Coyotes on this home floor 4-4 on the year. Thrown away, Freeney comes up with it. Over to Prince. She'll fire the 3-ball short. Rebounded by Hall. Fires to Slaughter. Got a one-on-one. Slaughter and Keys. And Keys going to pick up the foul. No, they're going to charge an offensive to Slaughter. Put in play to Keys. We're still tied at 34. Stanek working her way into the paint, banks it off the glass. Good to see Thomas back onto the floor. Left the floor in the first half with an injury. Back in now. Hall off the rim. Farmer with the rebound. Hall says, I'll take that. And the rest of the Coyotes back to this end of the floor. Murph, top of the key. Over to Goodman. Down low it goes to Thomas. Thomas off the rim. Freeney over to Stanek. Into the paint, Farmer. That is Prince for 3, and she'll hit it. Prince is a 28% three-point shooter. And hitting at a better clip today than that season average of 28. Off the glass. Thomas, the bucket, has a chance to tie it again. So Thomas trying to knot it up at 37. Pretty good free throw shooter, 70% on the year. And we are tied again. Over it goes to Prince. Goodman reaches in, takes it away, but committed the foul. No, committing the foul was Prince trying to get it back. Thought for a moment the official was going to charge Goodman with the foul, but it will be Prince trying to get the ball back. Shot down to Thomas. She'll get fouled. And we'll go to the line with an opportunity to give the Coyotes their first lead of the game. $37 each. And Thomas, the 70% free throw shooter, trying to break the 37 each time. Thomas, 2 for 2. Odom and Key coming in. Odom for the Warriors, Key for the Coyotes. Slaughter will go out for Coastal North. Stanek will exit the game for the Warriors. Odom picking up the dribble. Prince over to Keys. That is Ruby Brannon who is checked into the game. McMillan dropping in the perimeter 2 to knot it up at 39. Lob down to Thomas. She'll fade, she'll fire it short. McMillan sends it into the corner. Prince for 3, off the glass. Brannon able to track down the board. Prince again for 3. It's again off something, not the glass this time, the rim. And the Coyotes will have it back. And I think we must be observing those media timeouts. First dead ball inside 5, and we've got a break in the action.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
That's mama and daughter is sister to Diane Grace Nelson on this Coastal North squad. Enjoying the game here in Monroeville on a Monday. And a pretty darn good game at 39 each, 4:46 to play in the third. Can I make one of my brave predictions? Warriors are not going to win by 48. That's what they won by in Mississippi. 98-50. Watts with the charge. Well, if you're looking for signature wins for a program, boy, if North could come away with a victory today, that would be one of those signature victories. Still got a quarter and a half to go, though. Out it goes to Murph. Works it left side, got the look she wanted, a little bit short, rebounded by Key. She'll draw the foul and head to the strike. And don't forget to follow us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And if you don't mind, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Of course, and on the social media outlets, we keep you updated on what's coming up. Except Threads. On Threads, it's all about scores for us. And then, of course, on YouTube. One way to watch the game, but there's also stuff on YouTube you don't get anywhere else. So more benefits than just watching the game. Over it goes to Keys, out front to McMillan. Odom into the corner. Keys bringing it baseline. Threw it out front into the hands of Goodman. She'll take it to the glass. Shot no good. Brandon with it. And let's see what the whistle's about. You got another injured Coyote. It is Murph this time. About 3 games ago, Murph went down in the second half of a contest. Didn't come back in that one, but came back the next game. And she is down again, probably the result of the same injury. That is not a good sign. Not able to put any pressure at all on that foot. So it is likely, if you are the Coyotes, you are without the services of Murph for the rest of the game. That is a blow to the Coyotes. Well, we'll see how the Coyotes fare. They've got a 2-point lead as she leaves. Freeney back in. Out of the ball game goes Hunter for the Warriors. Lennox checking into the game from Earth. Fed over to Thomas. Off the glass. Biggest lead of the game for the Coyotes at 4. Freeney in and out of the arc. Now in front it goes to McMillan. Works at top of the key. Picks up the dribble. Brannon with it. Trying to feed it down to McMillan. Stolen away by Thomas. Lennox with a give to Goodman, and Goodman trying to flip it off the glass. Brandon snagging the rebound. Timeout on the floor, and is asked for by East Central. Coyotes up by 4 with 2:15 to play in the third.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
There is a couple of gentlemen who are vital to the game that probably don't get the recognition they deserve. One, of course, in uniform, providing security, and the fellow right there cleans up after the fact. He's got the tough work. We certainly appreciate what they do on game day here. 2:15 to play in the third. Over to Farmer, left wide open, just daring her to shoot the three. Thomas about 6 feet back. Over to Freeney, she'll shoot the three, rattle it in and out. Hand it over to Lennox. Watts in the game too. That is blocked by Prince, out of bounds. And the Coyotes will have the basketball with 13 left on the shot clock. In play way out front to Thomas. Watts found a little alley. McMillan hoping for some backdoor help, didn't get any. Over it goes to Farmer. Down low, Odom. She will slip, fall, in, rolls out of bounds, and the Coyotes will have it. Put in play to Goodman. 60 seconds left in the third. Goodman over to Watts. That is tipped out of bounds by Prince. The key pass intended for Lennox. Coyotes with 9 on the shot clock. Now it goes to Thomas. Brings it to the glass, drew the foul of Farmer. And Thomas banged up against the wall hard. As a matter of fact, opened the door. But Thomas okay and heads to the line. Thomas trying to extend it out to an 8-point game. There's the 7-point lead. And there is the 8-point advantage. McMillan to the right side. Out it goes to Prince, lobs to Odom. Back over to Farmer. And she will get sandwiched on her way to the hoop. Lennox and Key sandwiched her. It will be Lennox charged with a foul. When these teams met in November, at the end of 3, it was 68-35. And that was East Central with the lead. Well, East Central is not going to have a lead going into the 4th. My, what a difference. A little less than 4 weeks is made. Shot down low to Watts. Wow, what a job. What a play. Expands the lead to 8, matches their biggest of the game, and it comes going into the 4th.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the dental assisting program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, there's Taylor Murph on the sidelines with that ankle wrapped up and elevated. Came out of the ball game, and the Coyotes led it by 2. Well, they have definitely picked up her slack. Her injury instigated slack. And lead it by 8 going into the 4th. Warriors with the basketball as we begin the 4th and final stanza. And there was a static foul. Now there's a pause in the action while the official scorekeeper gets the correct fouler. I think we knew who the foulee was. The fouler is static, and she'll come out of the ball game. Farmer will check in. Betsy Harris not at all pleased with the officiating and expressing her discontent. Into the corner, open is Goodman. Decides to bring it to the baseline. Fires over to Lennox. And there's Watts with it. Feeds it to Thomas, and there's a charge on Watts. East Central with the basketball. Coyotes with the lead. Time still not a factor. Farmer too strong, rebounded by Key. Over it goes to Goodman. Over to Watts, back to Lennox, shoots the three off the rim, no good. That'll go out of bounds off Farmer. And the Coyotes will still have possession with 20 on the shot clock. Key's coming into the game. Out of the game is McMillan for the Warriors. From the corner, three ball, no good. Goodman, the miss. Prince is fouled by Watts. And that is at least 3 on Watts. Put in play to Keys. This is a Central squad that averages 75 points a game. $41 on the board currently. Coastal North 57 a game with 49 currently. Prince to put it in play. Keys leans in, got glass rim and 2. Out front it goes to Lennox. Back over to Goodman, thought about the 3. Key off the glass. It is rebounded by Buckley. 3 ball from Freeney, in and out. Key with a board. Down it goes to Key, gives to Thomas. And Thomas misfiring on the 2. Over to Prince. Young in the game for the Coyotes. To Freeney. And Freeney had her heels out of bounds. So the Coyotes with 7:18 to play in the game. In possession of a 6-point lead, in possession of the basketball. Young. Back over it goes to Key, left open at the stripe. Misfires, rebounded by Buckley. Over it goes to Prince, left open for the 3, in and out. And you got a jump ball between Buckley and Thomas. The possession arrow will send us to the other end of the floor. Slaughter and Crane coming into the game for the Coyotes. Key and Young will go out. Over to Crane, back to Goodman. Crane coming out on the left side, and she will walk with it. So the Warriors with a basketball, a bit of a dry spell for the Coyotes. The plus side to the dry spell is that the Warriors haven't been setting the world on fire. They've hit 1 bucket during this Coyote dry spell. Freeney. And there's a foul from the backside by Goodman. Freeney shooting. Freeney, a 76% free throw shooter. One of the best free throw shooters on the team. Was 1 of 2. And it is Thomas able to rip down the rebound, but she's coming up a little bit gimpy. Coyotes trying to snap a little bit of a dry spell. High off the glass for Slaughter. Wow, what a shot, dropped in. Thomas putting up a prayer, it's answered. Gets injured, hops up and says, I'll tolerate the pain. Trying to cap off the three-point play. Missed it. Oh, they ruled that the shot was no good based on the fact that it hit the clock, which is considered out of bounds, and dropped back in. So thus the foul has her shooting 2, and she'll make them both. Over goes to Buckley, shoots from the elbow, rebounded by Slaughter. Kicks it out to Goodman. Off the glass for Thomas. Keys out front to Freeney. Into the corner to Keys. Crane defending, Freeney firing a long 3 and banks it. Timeout on the floor asked for by the Coyotes. The lead is 6. The time on the clock is plenty.
About to start my day, but first, coffee. Here with my coastal crew. Woo! And that's how I end my day at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, we got all ages enjoying basketball. Here in Monroeville, Roland Hall on the campus of Coastal Alabama North. And the Coyotes trying to pull off their biggest win in years. Leading it by 6 with half of the quarter to go. Crane, a double dribble. The Warriors will have possession. Prince, and it's swatted away. Goodman able to come up with a loose ball. And part of the Coyote game plan, you don't want to get ultra conservative, but you sure would like to run time off the clock each possession. And let's see if Buckley got a hand on Slaughter, and that's the reason for the whistle. It is a Buckley foul, and Slaughter will shoot. Raven Hall back into the game. And the first Slaughter free throw good from the 59% free throw shooting Slaughter. Averaging 7 points a game. The number 5 rebounder in the ACCC. And she'll go 2 of 2. Odom over to Freeney. Fires another 3 off the rim. And that'll go out of bounds and belong to the Coyotes. An 8-point lead. The biggest lead in the game was 10 when the Warriors led at 13-3. Coyotes with a chance to match that 10-point lead. Got away from Thomas briefly. And you got a walk by Hall. Freeney lost it. Trying to take it away. Thomas, a jump ball, will keep it on this end of the floor. .326 to go in the game. Prince dropping it in from the paint. Hall getting it out front to Goodman. Into the paint and drew the foul. What a job by Goodman. Created a look and then drew the foul of Buckley. And again with an opportunity to extend it back out to an 8-point lead. Goodman, the top scorer on this team, the only Coyote in double digits, 10 a night. Goes 1 of 2. Significant in that it makes it a 3-possession game. Not an issue yet. Slaughter going to be called with a foul. Based on the time of the clock, 2:43. But if you get inside a minute in a 3-possession game, that's big. Prince, and Hall will foul her from the backside. Watts coming into the game. Hall will go out. Well, Prince, the 69% free throw shooter, heads to the stripe. One more from Prince. Got them both. And it's a 5-point game. Watt picking up the dribble. Got to have some help, and you got a timeout asked for by Mandy Armstrong. Knew that her Coyotes were in trouble. And to preserve possession, calls for time.
What's up, y'all? Here at Coastal Alabama, about to go and get this leg day started. Let's get it. We're here again after today. You're... Hey, let's go, baby. Let's ride. Yes, sir.
2 minutes, 20 seconds to play, and now we've got an East Central timeout. So we're not back to the action yet, but we will be in less than a minute. Two minutes, 20 seconds left to play. 5-point game. Plenty of time. If you are East Central, and too much time if you are the Coyotes as well. They want this clock ticking. In play to Goodman. Shot no good. Follow-up is from Thomas. Nearly and is stolen away by Lennox. Takes it to the glass for two. A 9-point lead off the glass for Keys. A 7-point advantage. Coyotes. That is off of Buckley and out of bounds. In play to Goodman. Feeds it to Thomas. And Thomas with the offensive. .90 seconds to go. Coyotes with a 3-possession lead. And there is contact. And it is Watts that did it. And Watts will foul out of the game. Young will come in. Buckley at the stripe. Buckley, a 38% free throw shooter. Averages a couple of points a game. Appearing in her 9th game of the year. 1 time as a starter. And she'll rattle in 1 of 2. Lennox able to get it over to Slaughter, but got hit hard. And that is going to be Prince with a foul. That's got Lennox going to the stripe. You make one, and it becomes a 3-possession game. And she makes one. Off the rim, Prince with the rebound. Brings it to the glass, puts up a prayer, knocks it down, got fouled 2. And we'll head to the stripe for 3. And a chance to cut it to 4. Thomas working her way down the floor. And Lennox wisely bringing it back out front to try to run time off the clock. And Freeney will go out and foul Goodman. Well, it took about 15 seconds off the clock. It will stay a 2-possession game, but you got a chance if you're a Goodman to stretch it out to the max. Went 1 of 2. Prince again. And this time it is Young committing the foul. And Prince again at the stripe. She has made some clutch free throws down the stretch. And if you make both, you got a chance to make it a single possession game. And she will hit them both. In play to Lennox. Freeney with a quick foul. Big free throws on this end of the floor. And if you are Lennox, you're in that situation again where you want to make at least one of the 2. Push it back out to a 2-possession game. Lennox, a 38% free throw shooter. Well, that makes this one that much bigger. Trying to push it out to 2 possessions. A big free throw from Lennox. And I'm sure the instructions from the Coyote bench is don't foul, but they do. And Prince is back at the stripe with the clock stopped. A 69% free throw shooter who has been clutch down the stretch. Still a chance to make it a single possession game. She does. It's a 3-point contest. And Lennox will get fouled. And here we go again with big free throws from Lennox. Same situation. You want at least one of the two. And you'd prefer the front end so you take pressure off the back end. She makes them both. Well, you hear the instructions, do not foul. Now you need to foul if you are a Warrior. Thomas going to the stripe. Well, if you are the Warriors, it's tough right now. But if you are the Coyotes and you can get two from Thomas, you pretty much got it out of reach. Well, it will stay within reach. Thomas, 1 of 2. Keys misses. It'll go out of bounds. 1 second remaining. Coyotes are about to win their biggest in years. The 10-1 Warriors of East Central, who beat these Coyotes less than a month ago by 48, lose by 6. And with the win, the Coyotes get to within a win of the 500 mark, improving to 7-8. East Central has lost for the second time in a row to an ACCC team. They do have a victory in between, but it was to a non-ACCC foe. Wow, what a big night for Coastal Alabama North. 66-60 your final score. Thanks so much for watching. Congrats to the Coyotes. We'll see you on Wednesday right back here against Talladega JV. For all the folks with Coastal North, 80 Daniel Head and company. I'm Robert Williamson for JockJive. So long, everybody.